What's up, world? You're watching 80s Music Twin Ranked. I'm Joel.
What's up?
And we're ranking the best rap songs of this decade.
Wrong. Get out of here. We're not doing that.
What are you guys doing?
Get out of here. Rap music is lame.
You're Joel. I'm Chris. This is 80s Music Twin Ranked. Alright. Now, we're twins. You're not seeing double vision. This is this is our 27th video that we're putting online, but
When you include like the
Yeah.
Huey Lewis one.
yeah, but it feels like the first time. So today we're doing Foreigner. I didn't write this joke.
those yourself?
I didn't write them today though. That was yesterday.
Okay. So now,
You didn't miss that one too.
so now my boys just tried to introduce rap as the music they were doing,
Yeah.
and I'll give them this: when you look at 80s music and rap, they do have something similar.
What's that?
That's a lot. A lot of the lead singers of both of those are dead. So there's about a dozen or so dead singers.
You become a rap singer nowadays.
It's
Your
a death sentence.
your lifespan is you're lucky to make it to 30. I see a rapper in the deaths in Wikipedia once a week at least.
And they're not all, obviously not all from this country.
Yeah, 80s rap was different though. We had the kind of rap way back then is not the same.
Now Tone Loc, remember him?
Yeah,
He had pretty much 2 songs.
that's considered rap.
It was considered rap. Wild Thing, Funky Cold Medina, and believe it or not, I bought that cassette.
Oh yeah, I knew you had.
But what was I thinking?
Yeah.
And he didn't. Did he do anything after that? He probably did, but I don't. It wasn't on the radio. So that. And then there was MC Hammer. I think that was in the 80s. MC Hammer came around.
Could have been. I'd have to
with
look.
Hammer Time. So and that still plays. All right, but today, no rap. We're talking about
Talk
Foreigner.
about Foreigner, and the reason they're called Foreigners because the original lineup, six guys,
people.
6 were British and
Three.
I'm sorry, 3 were British, 3 were American, and they're like wherever country we go on,
Somebody's a foreigner.
there's 3 of us, at least 3 of us are gonna be foreigners.
That's
So
a pretty cool reason. I didn't know that.
they were gonna be called something else, but they didn't like it. That's why they.
Yeah, and think about a few of the members came from a band called Spooky Tooth.
Yeah.
Now met some people with some some freaky looking teeth, spooky, but some people you don't want to get too close to.
Yeah.
'cause
Only one tooth was spooky. Not the whole set.
yeah. So
Yeah, founding member Mick Jones, he's the guitarist, but there's another Mick Jones, he's a guitarist for the Clash, so not unrelated, looks totally different.
yeah, as a matter of fact, I looked up a Foreigner video. I'm
Yeah.
looking to see if they did anything in movies. So you can actually look at the band as a whole if they were in a movie. That's how I found Chicago in that one movie, or individuals, right? And in this one video, they actually included both Mick Jones pictures. It's
they didn't know which one was
which
which.
one was supposed to be in it.
That's funny. The last member to be in the group was Lou Graham, who was probably the most famous because he's the singer. And it's funny that you think all the other band members, that like he left to get somebody else to replace him. Never replace the singer because if you do that, then the band is like almost unrecognizable.
Right, and he did get replaced.
I mean, he did get replaced. There's
Once.
a guy that does it now. I can't remember his
well,
name.
no, I'm talking about
And I just sent you
Kelsey?
a video. I just sent
was
you a
it
video.
Kelsey somebody or other?
Yeah, I can't remember it. We'll mention it after our break.
Okay.
But
yeah, sure we will.
he has a video I just sent you. It's for a couple years ago, but
Okay.
it's a Christmas thing. That's him singing the Double Vision. the
I'm
Foreigner songs.
I'm
going
talking
door to
about.
door.
If you look at our chart behind us. We haven't gone over it yet, but right after Inside Information,
Right.
he met when Lou Graham did his second solo. They started Foreigner again with Unusual Heat, It was not Lou Graham. It was some guy named
For some
John.
reason, I got this. Greg Halsey, maybe.
Oh, okay. It
That might be it.
sounds kind of familiar.
But he does. I sent you. Did you watch it? Where he's going door to door. Okay, you need to watch that.
No, but Johnny Edwards is the guy on Unusual Heat when they had Low Down and Dirty.
Yeah.
That wasn't Lou Graham.
Right.
And then Lou Graham came back for the next
Right.
couple. Yeah. So they started off late '70s, and it's always interesting. I always have to keep going back to this. During this time period, so you got some good songs from Foreigner, but at the same time, who's popular? Barry Manilow, Neil Diamond, the Bee Gees. Foreigner doesn't even belong in
Two different genres.
Yeah, and then, obviously we had Elton John. He had
'70s.
stuff.
We're still in disco even. Getting right
And
out.
Rolling Stones
Going
had
out of
stuff. Billy Joel had stuff. So wide variety of music in the '70s.
Yeah.
But again, their stuff got better in the '80s.
Yeah, first album self-titled. They had 2 hits. And Cold as Ice, I think, was on their first album, right?
Technically 2, but 3. For these first,
Oh yeah,
for these first 3 albums, each one has the redheaded stepchild song. That's what I like to think about. Like Dirty White Boy,
and Long Way.
Long Way from Home,
Right.
Blue Monday, Blue Day. You like that one? That's in your top 10, I think. But I consider it's like those songs that didn't hit big,
Right.
but they're still on the radio.
Right. The second album first album. I mean, 3 hits right off the bat. And they did pretty good.
Yeah.
Second album, they did even better. I think it's Double Vision was the second album. I believe that's their best-selling album today.
I forgot to look that up.
Yeah, that's their
Probably.
best-selling album today.
I do remember hearing they were really.
Now, their best-selling song would come from
Agent Provocateur.
Agent Provocateur, which is "I Want to Know What Love Is." If you've never heard that,
I think that still plays today.
yeah. Starts with a cymbal. There's a couple of songs, Rush has cymbals in there. There's a few songs that you don't usually hear. Tom Sawyer starts with a cymbal crack.
Which song?
Tom Sawyer would. I'm saying "I Want to Know What Love Is."
That's Oh, does it?
Yeah,
I'm thinking it was started with the keyboard.
Yeah, well, it does, but the very first note, cymbals
I
in
don't
it.
think I remember that note.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first CD, or I can't say CD back then. Were CDs out yet?
No.
77, just cassettes. So it feels like the first time, Cold as Ice. And again, I told you way back when, the reason I wanted to do these videos, I looked up Foreigner top 10 hits, see if other people rank them, and somebody did. And their best song, the #1 song, Cold as Ice.
Right.
And in my mind, I'm thinking, out of all the Foreigner songs, who is putting Cold as Ice as #1?
Yeah.
And then that driver I mentioned who likes Even It Up from Heart, that's his favorite song. I was like, well, clearly you don't know music. So, and then
It's very basic. I hear that,
Yeah.
even Hot Blooded, dent. There's not much behind it.
well, the thing about Cold as Ice is it's one of those songs that goes in a triple, instead of dun 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 dun. So that's different about it.
Yeah.
But, yeah. And this band considers themselves a hard rock band, I guess.
I saw that too, and I'm like, that's not really that hard.
Considering in
Just
the
regular
70s,
rock,
in the
right?
70s they didn't have that hard rock yet. But once the 80s bands came, they were just in the blended on the top 40 chart.
Yeah, I'm like, that's just regular rock. That's
Yeah,
not hard rock.
and you're thinking, when you think of heavy metal, you're thinking Rat.
Well, for the
Twisted
80s,
Sister,
you're
Quiet Riot.
right, yeah.
Foreigner doesn't belong in that group. So Lou Graham, he had higher opinions of himself. And then they're putting out tunes like I've Been Waiting for a Girl Like You.
That's our first. I
But
was listening to the hits on my CD I burned,
Most
and that was the first slow ballad song.
And most heavy metal bands don't have a song like that. Unless you look at Motley Crue, their slow one is Home Sweet
Not heavy
Home.
metal, hard rock.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, most hard rock and harder bands don't have slow songs like that. And let's talk about Home Sweet Home from Motley Crue. And even that's, they're belting it out with the voice.
Yeah.
Not Lou Graham, he wasn't.
Yeah. Okay. Third album, Head Games. Yeah. So Double Vision, Head Games. They both had songs named from the albums. That had a couple of
Head
What was the other one?
Games. Good question.
Urgent? Urgent.
No.
That was the next album.
Dirty White Boy. That's it.
Okay.
Dirty White Boy and had games.
Okay, and then so the next album they lost 3 guys.
They fired
They,
3 or 2.
they fired the one guy after the second album.
Yeah, I heard.
Before
Lou Gramm called him out on a concert saying
He said he kept wanting to play his own thing.
He said his drumming was sloppy and he almost got punched for saying.
Well, the bass player wanted to keep playing his own thing instead of what was recorded.
Yeah, so
but
they lost, and
on 4 they lost 3 guys, added another one, so they were down to 4 players.
and that's
And
why it's called
album.
4.
That's why it's called 4. Right?
So yeah, I thought it was just because it was their 4th album. Here it's because they were a quartet now too. And what's interesting about that I just noticed about this one, I would say 4 is probably their best, even though Double Vision.
I would too.
Even though Double Vision is the best seller.
I had records.
You had records which had all the hits,
Which is the greatest
obviously.
hits, right.
And I didn't know that was the greatest hits at the time because it didn't say greatest hits.
I didn't either, actually.
Yeah. So yeah, that one's 4 would be considered their best, I would think.
Yeah.
Even though it didn't sell as much, but preferentially, I like Inside Information better. Even though it's got the 4's got the song that we both like.
Yeah, well, I just think their music was progressively getting
Yeah,
better.
it was just like most groups out there. They're changing
their
styles.
Their sound.
And production was getting better in the studio for most people. That's why suddenly, Rush is, it's choppy to listen to. And then you got power windows. You put headphones on, you can hear every little background music going. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And that's how it changed in the 80s. Okay, before I move on, I was about to move on to the next one. I forgot to say this. So they went down to 4 as a quartet.
Right.
So, but in order to play the other part that the other 2 members had, they brought in outside musicians. See who was on 4?
Thomas Dolby.
Thomas Dolby.
He did the intro for Feels Like Waiting for a Girl Like You.
Juke Box Hero too, I think he was. But so 1 year before his hit song.
I'm wondering if he did the
Maybe, yeah.
So Thomas Dolby, famous for
Blinded Me with Science, and is that his only? I mean, he had more albums.
In the Wikipedia it says he had a successful solo career. I'm like, it's the only song I know.
One hit wonder. So yeah, that song gets played too. But yeah, so he was on there, and then so the next one came a couple years later. Obviously, they put their greatest hits out. Were they arguing around this time? It must have been. They really changed their sound. Come Agent
Lou Gramm didn't want to change to the. He wanted to stay hard rock.
Yeah, and like I said, it's weird that he thinks they're that, and it's just like Billy Squier. Okay, so he says that video ruined my career. Rock Me Tonight. Well, that was you on the floor. You ripped off your pink shirt and had the bed with satin covers. Okay. Can't blame other people, and you could have stopped it right there. They put out a slow song that has a choir in the back.
Yeah.
Again, any hard rock bands doing that? I mean, there's some things. Even Rush had choir.
Yeah, and even some of the vocals after the choir comes in, and they're like way out there. I'm like, is that Lou Gramm or is that a woman from the choir? I can't tell.
I couldn't tell either.
But there's the one I'm like, I thought that was a female, but that comes down and that's obviously Lou.
Now, maybe he liked that song, fine. He probably did not want that to be
That's their biggest hit.
He didn't want it to be their best-selling hit. And then he says, we should have never put that song out. And I'm thinking, did that cause the band breakup? But no, clearly they made more albums after that.
Yeah.
But it did cause him to go, Lou Gramm, to make his solo career, probably. He's like, Foreigner's going the wrong direction.
Yep.
I'm going to go see what I can do on my own.
And we are ranking Lou Gramm's hits. One or 2 might make it to our top 10.
And he had 2 albums. One was the same year as Inside Information, Ready or Not. So I don't know which one came first. I didn't look it up. I'm guessing Ready or Not came first, and then they came back to Foreigner, and then he went back and did another one in '89 called Long Hard Look.
What's the one of Lou Gramm's they play all the time?
Midnight Blue.
Midnight Blue. Okay, yeah. Every time I hear that, I always think of Foreigner's Blue Morning. And
I listened to that song today. Okay, the song,
blue in it.
It says his dad tells him, life is either like cherry red or midnight blue. I'm like, What does that even mean? How's your life going? Cherry red. Really?
That would be good because I love cherry flavored stuff.
Yeah, well, blue. I see
a wild cherry.
when I see a pop Baja Blast, I love it's blue. So I don't know. Is midnight blue worse or better? 'Cause blue
I
is
think it's worse.
blue is a calming color.
Red, it means you're on fire.
If you get a term paperback and it's got a lot of red
When
marks,
you're blue,
it's
you're
bad.
when you're blue, you're sad. So
Oh, okay. So there's no correct definition for either.
yeah. Now you were talking about movies earlier. Lou Graham is the one that has movies.
Only one.
He has two. He gave 2 songs to 2 different movies.
Well, I know about the Lost Boys.
Lost Boys
Lost in
and
the Shadows.
Highlander 2: The Quickening. The worst movie. I mean, the
Sean Connery wasn't in that one, right?
yes, he was.
he in both?
He was in
Really?
both. He had like
What was the song called?
I don't remember.
Well, the other one was
song,
called
but-
Lost in the Shadows for the Lost Boys.
Yes.
And I don't think it was either one was a
I
single.
saw that movie and I don't remember hearing.
Neither one was a
before.
single that I know of. So, but so in '80, and that was in '87 when he put out his single. And that one wasn't on his single album, his solo album, but it was separate. And then Mick Jones also had a solo album in '89, and I forget. I already forget the song.
Not only did he have a solo album himself, he helped produce other albums
Def Leppard's
for people. For people we've done. Billy
Oh,
Joel.
no, not Def
Billy
Leppard.
Joel. He helped Stormfront. If you go to the producer section of it says Billy Joel and Mick Jones.
Right.
For his Stormfront.
He helped Van Halen's 1984. That's
No.
what it was. No.
5150.
5150.
Yes.
Okay. Somebody famous did 1984, and I can't remember.
It
what
wasn't
is.
Mick Jones.
Okay, I thought it was Mick Jones. But he. So you mentioned Stormfront, and Mick Jones had a solo career, and the lead single from that, and I can't think of what it's called. There's a video for it. He plays piano in that song. I saw it today.
Oh, okay.
There's Billy Joel playing it. And
Well, even on the first 3 Foreigner albums, he sang one song of each.
Did he?
Yeah, after the 3rd album, I think he stopped singing for Foreigner.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, and so it's funny, so there, you hear about these riffs in the band constantly, right?
Yeah.
And between Lou Graham and Mick Jones.
Yeah, the best position to get if you enter a band is the singer. That way you I jump
And,
security.
and I heard when Lou Graham made his first album, Mick Jones is like, our band could have did that. It's like similar to other bands.
Right.
You sound just like us. Why did you? Well, it's the lead singer. He's gonna sound like you. And there's like it sounds slightly different. Obviously, you listen to Just Between You and Me. There's a lot of things different about it. I'll tell you what, that middle part, he's like, and then you have nowhere to go. It's like, who sings like that? I mean, that go is like really up there.
Okay, so we always talk about in 80s bands, you have the guitar solo.
Right.
And they have a few guitar solos, but they have
A saxophone.
solo.
That's their best known solo.
Yeah, on Urgent.
Yeah.
Not only that, before it gets into hardcore saxophone, there's a little saxophone section that's almost like a solo before they get into the
and it's from a guy who's not in the band. It's a black guy. And I looked.
Although one of the band members in the first 3 albums, he did play saxophone. He could have probably done that.
I think
They got rid of him.
So I looked up the guy who played saxophone. I tried to look up other stuff he did. He's been in other people's bands that have had hits. I think there's a song called These Eyes Did It Did It. He did that.
Oh yeah, I know.
I don't know if he did the.
I thought that was 70s.
I think that it was a remake, possibly, and he was not in the original, but the remake. Or he could have been the original. I don't know. But anyways, and it's funny. You look at these titles. When they're having the riffs.
Yeah.
So he goes off on his solo career, and they come back for inside information, and the song is, I don't want to live without you. It's like he's saying,
the band talking to Lou?
yes, don't go on your solo career. We can't live without you. and then he leaves again, and the heart turns to stone. Right, we're gonna go get somebody else.
Yeah, the singer that they have now, if it's Greg Halsey,
He sounds like Lou Graham. He does.
Yeah, he's a pretty good singer. From what I saw, I still you should do the video.
for a short period. Jason Bonham was on drums. John Bonham's son. Very short. I don't think he actually did any songs. He went on concert with them for in between, but he never actually did anything on those.
Yeah, if you look at after their last album with the hits, and they continue to play, they're just so interchangeable in their band members, you just can't keep up. You know how Wikipedia has their band members, and then their past band members,
right?
So
when they
long.
do a timeline.
Oh my gosh,
yeah.
That's the list is so long.
Now you can't see this last album. It's called "Can't Slow Down" back in 2000.
That was their last album, right?
Last album, and supposedly that was big in the NASCAR circuit. So when race car they'd come on TV, that'd be the promo song. Was their hit. Can't Slow Down. I don't know if they ever played in front of a crowd. I imagine it's a large crowd. Why not play in front of them through the national anthem or whatever?
Yeah.
So, okay, so Weird Al, I mentioned, and for Foreigner, it was Hot Blooded within one of those medleys.
Yeah.
So, Hot Blooded, it's not as rocking as you think it is when you listen to it again. I always thought, that's a pretty good one, and I listen to it like, it's not very strong. Not like urgent.
No, it's I consider it like it's simplistic, like Cold as Ice.
Yeah,
There's
and
I'm like, okay, Cold as Ice and Hot Blood. I'm like, there's 6 people in there. That sounds more like the 4-piece band. The other, like Juke Box Hero, only 4 are doing that. That sounds more like they had all 6.
Unless Thomas Dolby's doing synthesizer.
Oh, if they had people outside people come in to play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, I remember when you had records and you'd play the songs. It feels like the first time Double Vision and Hot Blooded. They come on, I'm like, they all sound the same. I'm like, click, which one is it? Name that tune. There were 6 notes. I still don't know. They all sound like to me. That was back then. I think I could probably identify.
Yeah, obviously not.
Anyway, so let's go ahead and get to our top 10. Okay, honorable mention. Let's see, we both lost 2. Okay, mine. My 2 that I lost, Heart Turns to Stone, which comes from Inside
we did Heart last
Information.
week.
What? Yeah, they turned.
we did Heart last week, I said.
And Double Vision. Now, Double Vision, that's one of the simple songs. But I'll tell you what, there's songs like Yes. When we get to Yes, you'll see Owner of a Lonely Heart does this in one section. He's like, the song is playing, and then you suddenly hear, Double Vision does that. He's got the chorus or the lyrics going, and you hear,
Yeah.
I like that part of the song. It just stands out. And then Heart Turns to Stone. That's my number 3 song out of them. You said you didn't include it in your top or your not very high because of you don't remember.
I don't recall hearing it until you gave me a list for the songs that they had as singles. I'm like, I don't know this song.
And it didn't make.
Yeah, it's hard. If I'd never heard it before, hard for me to put it on top 10.
I know. I don't know how you never heard that before because that number 3 for me. I mean, I don't rank songs just randomly either. Some of the ones you like, I'm like, I don't. I can say I don't remember.
It's kind of like if we ranked all their songs, that our list would be different if we knew everything they put out.
You dropped it way down to 20.
I didn't know.
I can't believe that. But it's a good song. And that was yesterday. Heart Turns to Stone. And what's the other one? Say You Will. Those are the 3 from the last 2 albums that I really like. And this one I think is the best of the 3. Yeah. So you didn't like it. So it didn't make our list. And Double Vision didn't make it. Yours, Blue Morning, Blue Day. I told you that was the 3 step.
I don't mind that being
one of the 3 stepchildren that didn't make it. Yeah. And then I Want to Know What Love Is. And I know you're putting it in there because that's your best song. You have to put it up there. I'm like, I like
it. Listen, it's one of their best sounding songs.
Yeah, they're it's actually really slow.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, that's a funeral march. Now, when we get to our top 10, slow song number 10 came from the next album. I like this slow song Better Than That slow song, and it's I Don't Want to Live Without Your Love.
Oh yeah.
It's one of those you put on the headphones. It's better musically in the background. But I still have it at number 12. You had it at number 9.
What was that? It starts with.
Yeah, something
like what's going on there? I would think it sounds like another one of their songs. I'm like, is there another song that sounds like this?
Waiting for a Girl Like You. Those are their 3 slowest songs, right?
Waiting for a Girl Like You does start with a do 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 do. Yeah, so that might be the song I'm thinking about.
So that one didn't make it either. This is the only slowest song of theirs.
They're slow songs. They don't usually make our top 10.
Right.
That's normal.
Now, you mentioned this earlier, maybe 1 or 2. All 3 Lou Gramm songs made it.
All 3. That
three.
surprised me. I thought only 2 would make it.
All 3. And you're like, what order is the curiosity part of it? So the number 9, his first one, coming from Ready or Not, Midnight Blue, the one that
that's my lead. Yeah, that's my lead.
I still don't know that it doesn't get played as often.
No, but out of his 3 songs, it's the most played out of his 3 solo songs.
It is, yes, and it's still a good song. But I have this at 13. That slow song we just did, I like that.
Did you put it way down there because you didn't understand the Cherry Red?
No, that's not why. As a matter of fact, I wasn't even questioning that until today.
Midnight Blue. Midnight, isn't that black? It's just a navy blue.
And then you have this at number 7. I had it at 13, you had it at 7. Okay. Next one up. By the way, that's one of 2 songs from that album that made it. And the previous song I just said came from Inside Information. 2 songs came from that one. Okay, and then this, number 8. 2 songs came from this album. Number
2 songs come from every album.
Maybe. So number 4, their album 4, this would be Urgent with the saxophone solo. So you know what the other one is and why it's above it. I have this at 5. You know, like that saxophone solo. It is a screeching solo.
Yeah.
You know, and it just tells you, out of all the musicians we've already done, we can rank out of those groups alone.
And the saxophone solos?
Just pull one song from at least 10 of them.
Billy Joel had a couple, I think.
Yeah, Billy Joel, Huey Lewis.
Not in our top 10, but in his songs.
No, but it might be in our top 10, like...
Just the Way You Are had saxophone, I think?
Maybe. And I like that song, but it's slow. Yeah. So, yeah, from Billy Joel, Phil Collins, Huey Lewis, Hall & Oates, I mean...
do we? Yeah, man eater. Do we have enough harmonicas for a top 10?
That I don't know. I'm surprised how many. And and I asked you this back in Chicago. There's a lot of flute songs out there. It's amazing how many.
Somebody in Foreigner does play the flute, but I don't recall any songs that were singles that were flute playing. But
okay,
they might have stuff in their albums,
maybe. So where was I? I had Urgent at 5.
You're right there. I'm right here.
Yeah, I had Urgent at 5. You had it at 12. Okay, and then one more up, number 7, the second Ready or Not song, Ready or Not, which is probably out of his 3 songs. It's the one that sounds
the least recognizable.
Least recognizable, but it's the hardest rocking one. It's probably the one out of the 3 that probably sound most like a Foreigner song and not a single from Lou Gramm.
Ready or Not.
Yeah, and that was in 1987. I have this at number 4, so Better Than Urgent. You have it at 11. One more up than always happens on our lists. Okay, so that was number 7, Ready or Not, and then one above that, Say You Will from Inside Information. So there's 2 from Inside Information. All right, and I have this one at number 8. You have it at number 6. You know what I like about this song?
Say You Will you always keep doing I like the way it goes doo doo doo. You just said how you do the drums. Anything kind of starts here, goes down, you like it.
Right.
Say You Will. I said doo doo doo.
Well, yeah. Well, no, you know what? Remember we did John Cougar Mellencamp. Remember how his lyrics sound kind of weird in Human Wheels?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Say You Will in the middle. It kind of does this echo chamber thing with the music. Remember the solo? Where it goes, and it's like shifting. So not the chorus part, but it's the middle section, and he's actually singing in it, and his voice kind of
It's
changes.
not just the verse. He's low in the verses.
And where he says, "Oh, won't you say you will be mine?"
Oh,
During
yeah.
that section, it's like his voice is different. The drums are doing something. I
Okay.
can't tell the camera because I'll mess it up.
We'll listen to it.
Anyways, so that's number 6. Number 5 is our best Lou Gramm song.
Just between you and me.
Now, this isn't the one I picked highest. I actually liked Ready or Not
Okay.
the best. But you like this. You have this at number 4. I have it at number 9, so that put it as the best. Just between you and me. Yeah, and that's the one I already said. He
All right,
screeches
so that's
on
as high
the-
as he got on his own. I thought he might be a little higher.
Yeah, he screeches on that go, and that's from his second one. So the Long Hard Look, that's the song everyone knows about that. I don't think he put a third album out. I think that's his only his second.
No, he
one.
probably went back to Foreigner.
Yeah, well,
I
yeah,
think
he did
it one more-
eventually.
I think he did it one more time.
In 1994, he went back. He didn't.
Oh,
put
we
more-
we just, it's not Greg Halsey.
Oh, yeah.
We looked at it as
Kelly Hansen.
Kelly Hansen. So.
Yes. And there's you just showed me a Christmas thing they do. We're going door to door.
Yeah, it's pretty good. And they're singing Foreigner songs.
He sounds like him. You didn't check to see who Greg Halsey was, did you?
No, you know what I'm thinking? Maybe I have the Diary of a Wimpy Kid books, and that guy's Greg Heffley. Maybe that's
No, I don't think that's probably where you got it from.
I don't know.
All right, so number 5, just between you and me. Going up one more, and I mentioned this is the 3 songs from the previous. That was Yesterday. I have this at number 6. You have it at number 5. So, say you would say right here your records, the greatest hits. Kind of funny. You have 4 albums, then your greatest hits, and then after that, you're really only known for two more Foreigner albums, and then the solo career, right? You can't list anything off of the last 3 Foreigner albums, could you?
Yeah.
Other than Low Down and Dirty. I think
Yeah, but he's like, that was yesterday. Yesterday's gone. So people are like, hey, you guys used to be pretty good. Yeah, it was yesterday. Yesterday.
So
gone.
there was a song I thought I knew, Soul Doctor, which came from Mr. Moonlight, and I listened to it, I'm like, yeah, I don't really know that. Thought I did. You know, some of these bands, they
were really getting away from.
They really start not sounding like each other.
They got away from guitar, really.
I'll bring it up again. Now, when the odd guy out, Johnny Edwards sings on Unusual Heat, to me that sounds like Bad Company,
Right.
not Foreigner. But again, there's probably a bunch of bands, a few bands that sound similar. You know what I'm saying? When you recall their music, you put them back and you just start, I think that's Foreigner, like Bad Company, or you think it's Bad Company as Foreigner. Some bands that are like that, they're interchangeable a little bit. Like when you hear Free, all right now, that's a guy from Bad Company, right?
Yeah. Yes. I think
Yeah, and back then I probably thought, that's Bad Company, that's Free. It's their only hit as Free, but I thought it was Bad Company at that time.
so.
Okay.
Sometimes you hear songs from. Well, we're doing it right now. Sometimes you hear a song from a band, and you're like, that's not that band.
Right, well, like
Like Bad Company, Feel Like Making Love, it doesn't sound like the rest of their songs. It sounds different. So
yeah.
sometimes Bad Company
Well,
doesn't sound like
I
Bad Company.
had asked you this a month ago. I was trying to track that song down that I thought was Roxette.
Oh
It
yeah.
was Savage Garden.
Right.
So there are some bands that sound like it. So we say
Savage Garden is probably 90s though. So.
Yeah. So we say, well, technically, Roxette had a lot of hits in the 90s. But they started in the late 80s,
Yeah.
which is why they're on our list. But yeah, so we say today's music sucks because a lot of music you can't tell who it is. For some cases, that's the case in the 80s too. But I'm just saying, most of the time, it's not.
You know what? Nowadays, I was thinking about this. Do they have bands? I know that it's not.
I know
Is
what
it
you're
just a singer's name?
No,
and then
there's
they have a
bands-
band behind
well,
it.
My boy's favorite bands.
Okay.
Imagine Dragons, 21 Pilots.
Okay,
So they're bands.
Yeah,
But they're probably known because of the lead singer,
right.
not so much because of the band.
But mostly nowadays, it's just a new singer
Right.
coming out, and
Right.
singer. Not really many bands.
And then, but you got some that are singer and they're known The Weeknd. That's not his name.
Oh,
Pretty
yeah.
sure it's not his name. That might be his name.
It's not.
Speaking of names, we veered off a path here. My boys were telling me, did you know Macaulay Culkin's name? He changed it. Okay, he was born Macaulay Carson Culkin.
Okay.
Look up Wikipedia. He changed his name to be Macaulay Culkin Culkin. His middle name is Macaulay Culkin. So when you say it, it's 2 Macaulays and 2 Culkins. Why would you do that? Anyways, but he wasn't born that way, which means he legally changed his name to something stupid like that. Okay. So now that we're at the top 3.
I thought we were talking about movies.
Top 3 songs. Very interesting because we like the newer stuff. All 3 of the top 3 come from the
First 4 out.
All right. So interesting. So number 3 comes from their debut, and it's "Feels Like the First Time." I have this now. I didn't put it in top 3. I have it at number 7, but you have it at your number 2. So you got the top 3 right. Your top 3 are the top 3, just not in the correct order.
Okay.
All right. So "Feels Like the First Time" is our number 3. Next one up. I wanted to put this at my number 1, but you can't go past the number 1. So it's my number 2. It's your number 3, and that's "Head Games." And I like the straight beat. It is. I'm gonna cut again, but no, it's one of those, the best drum song too. Say you're on your drum set. Juke Box Hero is hard to drum to because it's a triple song.
Okay.
Head Games is one of those like, da, da. If you were the background, like, this is a good song to drum to. I don't know. That's where I was going with that. And then lastly, the number 1. I just mentioned it. Juke Box Hero.
Juke Box Hero.
And for I think the 6th time, both of us picked the number 1 song.
Right. Juke Box Hero it's funny for 2 reasons. One, where do you find jukeboxes anymore? I mean, growing up, I think the only places I ever saw them were bars.
Pizza places and whatever.
Pizza places where
diners. I don't know. Are there diners anymore?
There was a restaurant. I remember a restaurant where it had your own at your table. It was
which is weird.
So you got competing jukeboxes.
How loud does that thing get? Because the next table is over. Like, turn that crap down.
Yeah. Funny story with that jukebox is we worked at Brown Derby and they had a bar, and I went in there and Robert Palmer, because we had to go in there to get the dishes because we were busboys. We weren't drinking. We were working.
You'd think most of the songs would be hits, right?
Yeah. So they had Robert Palmer's whatever.
Riptide.
No, I know, but it was probably Addicted to Love or something.
Right.
Whatever. Riptide was the B side of.
Do they always have a B side? They have the record.
Yeah.
And they put both songs.
So it wasn't like now where you could go to your phone and just listen. Oh, I've never heard this. What does it sound like? Well, I saw it there, and I might go buy the album. So I'm like, I've never heard Riptide. I wonder what it sounds like. And I clicked it in there. Yeah. And no, everybody else, they after about a minute of it, it's a really slow song. After a minute of it, some guys complain, bartender says, can you get that? Can you turn that off and change it? I think she unplugged it.
You know what's funny? Well, a couple funny things. Well, one of the funny things is that song's not very long. It probably literally had 15 seconds left to go.
Yeah.
And secondly, I listen to that album all the time. There's nothing else on that album
that ain't good.
Sounds like that.
Okay.
No, everything else is good.
Okay.
Everything is good except for that.
Why did they make that song a B-side? Just because it was the name of the album? Second thing, Juke Box Hero. I was a hero. It's kind of like Guitar Hero. I was like, he plays guitar. He's my hero. He save us with this music.
But it's the same, they do that in sports. Somebody, a buzzer beater at the end of the game. He's the hero of the game. No, he's not. He shot a basketball.
Well,
how heroic.
No, he's not. But the guy is not a hero for being on stage.
Right.
Playing great music. He's like, oh man, this music has no good songs. Can somebody save us? Here, put this one on it. He's our hero, Juke Box Hero.
Yeah. We're hostages in a bank. Go put that song on. Okay, I'm gonna let you go. You know what? And we're gonna go down that trail where we have words that shouldn't be used in a certain
Right.
thing. There's a commercial
Okay.
that I hate. This lady, first of all, she's in 4 sections. You know, she's wearing 4 different items,
Yeah.
and supposedly it's by starting a book on Yahoo, okay, or Amazon, maybe. Okay, so each frame is a different part of a sentence, not together. It's in different frames.
Okay.
But it's on clothing she's wearing. So for each piece of clothing she's wearing, it has part of the sentence. She's never wearing the outfit all together. So it's got a partial sentence on her shirt. Okay? The whole phrase is that she thinks there should be a rule that everybody in the world, at least once in their life, gets a standing ovation. That's what it is, standing
Okay.
ovation. And so my one son, he's come up and goes, yeah, Hitler should have been able to get a standing ovation at least once in his life. I'm like, that's a stupid saying. There should not be a rule. Charles Manson, does he deserve a standing ovation?
Station one
Well
time.
done.
One time in his whole life. Well, maybe
If he had it-
if he had it, he wouldn't have done what he did.
I know, but it's just phrased in general. I'm like, that's
Yeah, people-
There are some people who don't deserve a standing ovation. Sorry. Anyways,
Yeah, that what does that have to do with Foreigner?
nothing. Anyways,
No, it's a
that was
jukebox.
the one thing you mentioned. Jukeboxes. Okay, so the next thing on that song is they go to a town without a name.
All right, yeah.
Right?
Hopefully not playing it at town because I'm going to that concert. Oh yeah, where's the plan? Town over here has no name.
You know what? Better saying that than going to Detroit and done. How's everybody in Cleveland doing?
Oh yeah, who did that? Somebody did that?
Oh,
Probably.
Biden does it everywhere he goes. Anyways, but yeah, there are some towns with some weird names.
Oh yeah.
Okay, like there's a town in Wyoming.
So you could live in a town and be like, I wish this town didn't have a
Right,
name.
there's a town in Wyoming called Middle of Nowhere. It's literally
Yeah,
called
yeah.
the Middle of Nowhere. So there are some weird towns. Maybe that's what it was. Town without a name. We'll take it. Like the Washington football team. It's actually one
Right, yeah.
Washington football team.
All right, so there's our top 10.
Don't want me to keep going.
No, you're just rambling at this point. So,
All right.
so what's your top 10? What's your number 1? What's your favorite album? Leave a
What
comment.
was your favorite album?
4. We all
4.
records. That's what I had. So great. So
I
we
didn't
can't
have,
do that.
I did not have anything in theirs.
Okay.
Yeah.
You said 4.
I didn't have it though.
No, but you said that was your favorite.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying I didn't have anything from 4.
So leave comments, like the video, share the video, subscribe to our videos.
And next week we're coming back with a dead singer. That's why.
Well, you can't.
Comparison between
Yeah, I was
rap-
thinking. Well, he died like 2 or 3 years ago. I can't remember if it was 3. It might have been 3 years ago. And you can't say, okay, that's your hint. It's been the last 5 years. Quite a few.
You know what? We haven't given away.
Yeah, so we're gonna give you this one.
Yeah, he's got a southern
Yeah.
accent. That's
and,
Tom
and
Petty.
you know what I was gonna say? His band is the Heartbreakers. Why? Why is it Tom? Why is it the Heartbreakers? Why can't he? Why couldn't they have been the Heartbreakers? Why did it have to be Tom Petty and the
You
Heartbreakers?
say that about Huey Lewis. Well,
Yeah.
could they all be the news? I don't know. Oh, we're the news. You probably wouldn't have been as
Oh
famous as-
yeah, Huey Lewis leaves. Somebody else. You take over. Okay, what's their album called? We're the News. Yeah, that album didn't sell very good there.
Right.
Well, I guess we know why people bought this album. It was for him.
So yeah, it's Tom Petty. Died a few years ago, and he'll be next week. Until then, see ya. Bye.